Hey everyone, it's Abigail, and I wanted to jump on today and do a quick live about personal branding, what a personal brand is and how to create one effectively. And I want to start by saying my neighbor's dog is barking super loud, and he's probably not going to stop. So just to try to ignore the dog barking in the background if you can hear it. But moving on to personal branding. So what exactly is a personal brand? So a personal brand is when you are branding your personality and your unique perspective on things. It's not necessarily branding a company or a product or service. You're just kind of branding you and the essence of you and what exactly you are. You're branding, your unique perspective. You're branding your name. You're branding your Instagram. You're branding your Facebook. And just kind of saying like, hey, giving a identity to what exactly you are and what you have to offer to the world. It's very popular for bloggers, network marketers, Instagram influencers, and people who just are kind of a jack of all trades, or what their unique sell is that they are very much themselves. And why this works for a lot of network marketers, like it works Mary Kay, Isogenics, why it works for those type of companies is, let's go with Mary Kay as an example. Millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people sell Mary Kay. I mean, I know four, just off the top of my head. I know four people who sell Mary Kay. But each of those people have a very unique perspective on why they sell Mary Kay, what kind of person they are, how they do business, how I interact with them. And that is what sets each person apart. So there is a market for all of these four people in the area that I work in, the area that I network in. There's a market for all of them to do exceptionally well because each of them have their own very unique perspective. They have their own client base. They have their own goals with their business. And that is kind of the essence of a personal brand. So instead of saying, I want to go to this person and buy Mary Kay from them just because it's Mary Kay, they're saying, I want to go to this person because they understand me, they get me, I'm their ideal client, they have a unique perspective that I'm interested in, like their brand really speaks to me. Even if they're selling Mary Kay, which is a branded product, but they can still have their own brand, if that makes sense. Their brand is that they are the one selling it. They are the one educating the person on it. They're the one providing that unique perspective. So a personal brand is when you can provide that unique perspective, and it sets you apart from all the other people who do the same thing that you do. So there are four things that are really, really, really important in having a successful personal brand. And the first one is having a very clear goal. And the clearer your goal, the better. So like I said, say there's four people that I know that sell Mary Kay. They might all sell it for very, very different reasons. They might sell it because that they love makeup, they love beauty. They might sell it because they want to empower women. They might sell it because they had a great experience with it and they want to share that with people. So there's a lot of different reasons that people come into a network marketing company or a business or a blog and create their personal brand. And when you're starting to create that brand, you really need to say, what do I want to accomplish with this brand? Why am I creating this personal brand now? Why is this the next step that I'm taking? And that is so important to kind of lay out that goal for your personal brand. So do you want to reach more people? Do you want to kind of become the number one person who is in this industry? Do you want to become a leader? Do you want to become an educator? What do you want to do with this brand? So the number one thing, the first step in creating a powerful personal brand and an effective personal brand is to set a goal. The number two that really sets people apart is really narrowing down that target audience. So again, going back to the 4 people I know who sell Mary Kay, they all have different target markets. So that's how they can be effective in an industry that's kind of a market that's kind of oversaturated. There are a bunch of skincare and makeup companies. There are a ton of Mary Kay reps, but they have a very unique sell. There's also a ton of food blogs. There's a ton of Instagram influencers. There's a ton of artists. There's a ton of markets that are oversaturated. But when you have a different target audience than another person, that's kind of what's going to set you apart. So you need to really, the second step to having that effective personal brand is to understand your audience, understand your niche, understand your target market. So a good way to find that is kind of to assess the people that you've already worked with, if you have already worked with people. Kind of assess what you liked and didn't like about your customers, or clients or followers, and think about the people who have really responded positively to what you do. And that might be a demographic of your target market. So when you're kind of thinking about and planning your personal brand and planning your goal, you kind of want to make sure that your brand is accessible and kind of directing at these people. It's talking to these people that are in your target market. The third is, we've kind of gone over this, but the third, and I think this is the most important part of a personal brand, is your unique sell. So this is why you created your personal brand. It's what people associate with you. It's what makes you unique. It's what makes you the best person to serve your ideal client and that target audience that you're going to create. The unique sell is kind of what you tell people. They're like, why should you be my Primerica rep? Why should I hire you to be an artist for me, draw my logo? Why should I hire you to buy my Mary Kay or my Isogenics or whatever? Or why should I read your blog? It's because you have a unique perspective and a unique sell that nobody else has. And all you need to do is kind of harness that into like a sentence or a short paragraph saying like, this is why I have this perspective that's going to serve you, my ideal client, in the best way. So that unique sell is kind of the center and core of a really good personal brand. And you need to be really driving that point home with your target audience. You need to say, this is why I'm the best at this, and offer your unique perspective on what you're trying to offer them. You need to keep driving that point home. Say, this is why I'm the best at this. This is why I'm good at serving you. This is kind of my story and perspective, and why, we're going to work super well together, or why you should read my blog, or why you should, visit my social media, why you should look at my art. And the last one is, I think, something a lot of personal branding people struggle with, and it's continuity. So like I said, on the last step, your unique sell, you really need to just keep driving that home. Once you've established this brand, that is your brand. And I get that it's really hard to separate, once you create a personal brand, yourself from your personal brand that you've created that kind of represents yourself. So I like to say it like, when I'm at home by myself and I'm watching TV and I'm in my pajamas and I'm having like all these thoughts and stuff, so that is me. And then when I come and sit down at my desk and I post on social media and I am writing blog posts, that is my personal brand. That is when I am acting as Abigail White, the brand, not Abigail White, the person. And that can be kind of a tricky line to toe there. And it definitely just takes practice to get there. But being like continually showing up as the brand that you've created for yourself, consistently letting people know your unique sell, consistently, telling people, this is who I am. This is who I am. These are the points that have a couple bullet points saying, these are the core things about me that make me unique and make me the best person to work with my ideal client. And then when you put something out there into the world, like when you make an Instagram post or write a blog post or create something, or even just have a conversation with the person, like say, am I touching on one of those unique points? Am I, accessing my unique self? Am I putting that out there in the world? And if not, either you need to not do that thing, or you need to reevaluate the brand that you've created and say, is this personal brand actually aligned with what I want to do? And again, it can take a lot of tweaking, can take a lot of practice, but it is something that really does pay off in a world where, we have all of these freelancers and multi-level marketing, network marketing companies in these areas where we kind of become oversaturated in those markets. So you really need to just access that unique sell. So again, you need to set the goal. You need to find your target audience. You need to find your unique sell and kind of put that out in there into the world, with your ideal client. And then you need to be continuously putting that uniqueness and perspective out there in the world, the one that you have kind of wrote down or made a document or come up with when creating your personal brand. And then the rest of the personal brand stuff goes into, logos and colors and things that you want to do in your business. But this is the real meat of it, the real strategy of it is these 4 things. So setting your goal, coming up with your target audience, finding your unique sell, and being continuous with it. So if you have any questions about personal branding, feel free to send me a message, comment on this video. I would be happy to help. If you have any very specific questions for your industry or your company or your brand, or something that you're thinking about doing, you're not sure it's the right direction for you, I'd be happy to answer any questions. And also, I want to take a quick minute to mention that next week, was it next week? It's the week after. Tuesday, November 27th, I'm going to be having a Facebook ads workshop. The information is on my page. So if you want to learn how to stop wasting money on Facebook ads, you can come to the workshop. There's one Tuesday, December 4th, and there's one on Tuesday, November 27th. It's at my house, and all the information is on my Facebook page. So if you want to check that out, I'd love to see you there, and we can work on some Facebook ads. But again, if you have any more questions, drop a comment, and it's been great chatting with you today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.